Hey everybody, it's Rory from A&S Gear, and we're going to look at a brand new accessory for the i5 mask from Dye. So this piece here is the e.VOKE accessory that goes with it. It's basically a interface between the mask and the Moss Air gun now. So all sorts of information that the computer assembly, the computer board inside the new Moss Air M2s is calculating, categorizing, storing. A lot of that information can be sent up to the mask to give you real-time stats of what's happening with your gun, things you need to be aware of while you're playing. So it's a way to connect the two pieces, which would be seemingly disconnected from each other, and helping the player out while playing. There's all sorts of things that it will do, which we'll talk about, and I've got the paper here so that I don't miss anything. But you do need to have the Moss Air upgraded board to run these inside of them. And then with this piece right here, if you order one of these or get one of these, they will come with a little Bluetooth chip right here. And this will need to be installed into the board. It's really simple. You just plug it right in. It's got a little hole right here that will screw in so that it'll keep it nice and steady and secure. And then once that's in there, you just pair the two together. And pairing them is very, very simple. Just pushing one button, telling it to look for it with the gun, and they sync up together with each other. So I wanted to just kind of show you what this will do, and so you can hear it and kind of get an understanding of what it will physically bring to your game and how it will benefit you. So turning it on, you're going to hold down the middle button. So we're going to turn it up. There we go. I'm going to turn it off and on again so I don't drop it and you can hear it.
i5, power off, goodbye.
So that's turning off.
i5, power on.
So it's on right now. And then a couple of things that it will do from just being on and syncing with the gun. It has a G count. So you can't do it through the gun, but you can reach up and push the button on here and it will count your G's for you.
1, gone. 2, gone.
And it will just keep counting.
3, gone.
If you want to know where you stand,
3, gone.
you can hit the middle button and it'll tell you how many you've gotten so far. If you want to clear it out, I think you hold the front button down.
Count reset.
Count reset. So you can, as you're playing, if you're playing in a tournament kind of setting, you can count the kills that are going on. If you hear somebody call out a G, you can put it in there so you know how many you've got going on, and you can have it reference and tell you 3 down, 4 down, 1 down, whatever it needs to be, depending on how many people you are. Or maybe you just want to know for your own personal satisfaction, like how many kills you had during the day. You can just keep track of them. And at the end of the day, if you've got 30, you've had a great day. If you've got 0, you need to practice some more. And this can help you with that too. A G count helps keep track of who's alive and who's not. Game timer alerts. So you can go into the gun and set the game timer inside of there, and this will keep you alerted as to game times. It's counting down. It'll give you set increments of telling you how much time is left in the game. So no more are you looking at the gun, the side of your gun, trying to get an update on what time limit is left. It's in your ear telling you time limit, time limit, time limit. So you know if you have to make that crucial move to maybe break that game open and win, or you can sit back because you know you've got some time. This will help you with that as well. What else? Service alerts. Shot tracker. I like the shot tracker in this. This is kind of a different thing. So you go into your gun, into the computer board itself on the gun, and you can set how many balls you're walking onto the field with. Maybe it's 1,600 rounds. You got 10 pods or whatever it happens to be. And then as you shoot through that paint, it's going to tell you how much paint you've got left. Now, I believe, let me look at this real quick, because I don't want to tell you something that's not quite right. Shot tracker right there. The alerts are automatic at 500, 250, 100, and 500, or 500, 250, 100, and 50. So as you're shooting down, 500 tells you, 250 it tells you, 100 it tells you, 50 it tells you, and then you know, okay, I'm getting to the end, I better fill up, or I better conserve some paint, or whatever I need to do, because I'm almost at the end of my rope there as far as paint is concerned. So shot tracker, again, another way to keep you informed on what you've got left without you having to reach around and feel your pods, trying to determine what you've got left while people are trying to shoot your face off. So definitely makes it easier. Service alerts, it'll tell you if your gun needs servicing, if you need a lube, if you need those things. In-game play, it's probably not going to be very helpful, but just as a reminder, it's going to definitely be helpful. So you know, I need to service my bolt, I need to service my regulators, I need to do whatever. And then also, when we're talking about regulators and stuff, you can, I believe you hold left on the joystick, it will bring the screen to a kind of like an information page where it tells you your LPR and your HPR readouts. You can do that on the screen or on your gun, and it will tell you through this, HPR is at 135 PSI, LPR at 65 PSI. Whatever it happens to be, it will tell you those things. So another way to interface mask to gun or head into gun. What else we got? Training mode. So drills. A lot of people don't do drills. They don't practice. They practice. Well, they go out and play paintball and they call it practice, but they don't actually do things to practice. They don't do drills. They don't do calisthenics or exercise outside of paintball. They just go play paintball and they call it practice. This will actually help you do those training steps, do drills to help you get better. It'll tell you snap shoot. It'll tell you all sorts of different things so that it knows or it helps you get better in a non-play situation. Obviously, you wouldn't be doing the training mode while you were trying to play paintball, but it would be something that you would use outside of actually physically game time to help you be a better player. And again, another thing to help push you in the right direction. And then, which one for me is kind of funny, is a motivational saying. They've got a couple, I think it's like 5 or 6 different motivational sayings that are inside of this, and you can push the buttons on it and it will just tell you something motivational. I don't know if that's really necessary, but hey, if somebody needs some motivation to get out there and play, by all means, put it in there. And that might be something that they'll expand on. Obviously, this will sync to your Moss Air or to the gun, but the Moss Air systems and the gun are also going to be able to sync to your loaders. So having the 3 working together, it really will give it a true dynamic that we haven't seen before. I think I got sidetracked from motivation. Motivation, some people need it. And if it's something that's going to tell you that maybe pushes you over the edge and makes you motivated to play or be better, then great. But here's some of the samples.
Accept challenges so that you may feel the exhilaration of victory.
Exhilaration of victory.
Life shrinks or expands according to one's courage.
Courage.
Stop waiting for things to happen. Go out and make them happen.
There you go. Go out and make it happen. So as goofy as it may sound, some people may find that motivational and it may help them play paintball. So I'm not going to knock it. I think it's silly, but I'm not going to say that it's not an important helping tool or training tool or learning tool to get out there and help you be a better player. So that's that. I'll show you how to put it in just a second. I want to go over just the things again so I don't miss anything. Drills, we talked about that. Game timers, shot trackers, G counts, service alerts, training modes, motivation, and then just general information, LPR, HPR, those kind of things that are in there to help you be a better player. So that's what it does. Let's throw one in real quick so you can kind of see how it fits and where it sits. So we'll go ahead and do that. All right, so we're going to go ahead and install this into a mask now. So we've got our e.VOKE system. We're going to put it into the mask. The e.VOKE system is designed to fit on the left side of the mask only. It will not fit on the right side over here because of the way the clip setup is on here. So we've got the clips or this hook, I should say, on the side, and it needs to hook into the lens that comes around the arm of the lens, and the only side that it can do that in is on the left because of the shape of the hook. So we're going to remove this, move the strap off, and they recommend that you remove the goggle completely out. You probably don't need to, but for ease of use, it could be easier to do it that way. So let's at least get the left side out. So we're going to pull this out. We're going to do the same process we did earlier to get the retainer out. So we're going to slide it forward first, bottom and top. So we'll do the bottom and then the top. Pivot our retainer out. You can see the pivot, the pivot of the retainer comes out like that. And then we should be able to pull it back and push the retainers down and pop it out easily. So we're going to be working with it over here. Again, For people who are not comfortable with doing it, remove the lens all the way out and make it easier for you. We are going to replace the teal piece inside here, okay? We are not replacing the clip. The clip goes into the mask. So we're replacing it like this, right? So that's gonna hook into there, and that's gonna go right there. Just like that. So the clip stays, we replace the teal piece, and that replaces the hook system that's on the left. Now, to get this piece out, first thing we want to do, because again, we're replacing the teal piece, is we need to remove the screw that holds the earpiece to the teal clip. And if you look on this piece right here, there's a screw hole right there. So this will thread back in through the earpiece and go into the e.VOKE system. From here, we're basically ready to take this apart. There is a pin that runs from top to bottom right here. We're going to push it out. Now in the manual, it says to push from the bottom up. So however this is sitting in your mask, you're going to push the bottom of the pin up and out. Now, it might have been just because these were early prototype masks or they were just first runs. The pin that I got in mine was actually reversed and I had to push it down. And it could have just been because other people were looking at it or what have you. But I will show you a good way to look at it and know for sure which way it needs to go. But I've turned it around and I'm going to push it up. So I used a flat screwdriver to push the pin flat. And the first couple times you do this, it is going to be hard to push it out because they don't want that thing accidentally falling out on you. So it is stiff inside of there. And so I used a flat screwdriver to push the pin down flush against the clip right here. And then I'm going to use an Allen key. You could use a small punch. You can use basically anything that's going to let you push this pin out. So I'm going to kind of try to line it up and push it out. And you can see it coming through right there. So the pin is coming out. Now on the pin, you've got, let me just kind of set this down here. You have a rounded or pointed end, and then you have a flat end that has knurling on it. You never want to force the knurled end through the frame. You're just going to widen out the slots and it's not going to hold anymore. So when you look at your mask and you're going to push this pin out, you want to push from the end that is pointed or beveled or rounded off, not the flat end. The flat end has the knurling on it. Push it out the other direction. So push the knurling out first. If you don't know what knurling is, it's just these little notches that are cut in there to add the grip when it drops down inside of there. So that comes out first so that it comes out and it will always have grip then. All right, so we've got our clips here. We're going to pull off the teal one and we're going to replace it with the e.VOKE. One gone. Just like that. Now, depending on how new or how flexed or how used these are, you can see that it wants to work, but it wants to pop itself out of there just because you kind of just have to finesse these pieces together. Make sure that they line up and they don't want to jump out on you. Then I'm going to get this started with my pin, and I'm kind of just going to go through the top here. I'm not going to go all the way through because this pin does more than one purpose. The pin holds the two pieces together, but it also goes through the goggle strap and holds the strap in place as well. On your strap, there's a hole where that pin is going to slide through there. So you have to make sure that the pin goes through the strap, or else you're going to have nothing that holds the strap in place. So I've started the pin in here. I know that my e.VOKE is going to sit in my goggle like this. So I want to make sure that my strap is going to fit in there like so, and that it is going to go through. Now this could take a little bit of time setting it up, so don't rush yourself. Make sure that the holes line up properly, that you can get everything in there. I've slid it in a little bit and I'm pulling on it to make sure that I'm in the goggle strap, and I am, so I can push this all the way down. So I'm getting close to the bottom. Now I don't want the bottom to get bunched up and pinched in there, so I'm going to kind of pull it up a little bit, push it through a little bit more. Pull it up a little bit more, just so I know that I'm coming out in the right spots here. Let's just make sure that we're coming out of there. All right. I'm going to use my flat screwdriver again to kind of help push it, because it does kind of hurt my fingers. Make sure that we're coming through. Now again, you can see how this is taking me a little bit of time here, because I don't want to rush it. I don't want to. This is a very important part of your goggle to have accidentally come apart on you. So let's just make sure that we're right here. So I'm going to kind of push this back out, because I think, if I'm not mistaken, that I might have slightly come out of the spot that I want to be in. And I don't want that to be a problem. There we go. So now you can see that I've got the goggle strap and the pin all the way through the strap. Again, just take your time. Don't rush it. You don't want to ruin that strap. You don't want to not have it hooked together, because like I said, the last thing you want to have happen is,
No new updates at this time.
apparently it's on right now, is to have this thing fall apart while you're out there playing. So now we just have to make sure that this bottom pin is lined up with our upper pin here. There we go. Looks like I've got it just about right there. So we're all the way through. Line up the bottom. Keep saying that, don't I? Line up the bottom, line up the bottom. And then push it all the way down in. There we go. So now we've got that hinged on there. It's through our strap, so our strap is being held in place. We can go ahead now and reattach our earpiece onto here. So it's just going to be this one screw coming through the top. All right. So that's on there now. Now we can go ahead and slide this all back together. So we're going to slide our bottoms in of our retaining clips, drop them in there. They should pop right through. And that will let us push it the rest of the way through so that we can hinge the e.VOKE out and then drop it into place behind the lens like that, and then pull it out and lock it in place. So there we go. As you can see, it's very compact along the side there. It is not protruding into the cavity of the mask. You can put it on and it easily fits inside of your mask right here. I can feel the buttons along the top right here, so I can add
2 gone. 2 gone.
So as you can see, it fits easily. It doesn't protrude like we talked about at all from there. It doesn't feel uncomfortable in my ear. It's easy to manipulate the buttons that are up there. You just kind of have to get a feel for where they're sitting up on top of your head. And it really is kind of a cool little thing, either if you need it for the motivation.
When in doubt, empty your magazine.
When in doubt, empty your magazine. Or if you need it to track stats or whatever you need to do, it really is bridging the gap between the mask and the gun, having two peripheral pieces of equipment and integrating them together. So definitely something I would recommend picking up for people who maybe need a little bit more motivation. They might need a little bit more tech. Guys that are really into all the latest and greatest, this is probably one of the coolest things to come out in a long, long time. The install is basic, but it does require some time. As you saw, I had to play around with the pin coming through the strap just so it all fit into place. It wasn't bunched up, and it wasn't I wasn't breaking anything. want to make sure that that lined up the way it should. So take your time. I mean, that goes with anything you're doing with paintball when it comes to equipment or gear. Take your time so that everything turns out right and you'll be golden. So again, I love the mask. I think the mask is cool. It's a great step forward in innovation, comfort, and all the things you need. The e.VOKE just adds to that. It's that icing on the cake of next gen equipment. So I recommend it. Check it out. e.VOKE for the i5. It's available through the website. Order yours now through ansgear.com.